Manchester United have today presented their latest signing, Fellaini, to the media at a news conference at Old Trafford. James Cooper is there for us, joins us live now. James, what did David Moyes have to say about business in the transfer window and how they left it very late to secure Fellaini?
Well, Rich, I think the fact that he was sat next to his only summer signing probably speaks volumes about Manchester United's business this summer, maybe the frustrating summer that they had as the champions trying to bring in new blood. I mean, David Moyes wasn't allowed to answer the question about general perceptions of that transfer window and whether it was more frustrating than even he might have imagined coming into Old Trafford. But I guess the major positive is they have got someone in Fellaini he knows all about. He spent 5 years with him at Everton. He can play a variety of positions within that midfield. He's physical, he's got a goal in him. And I think he's something that Manchester United haven't got in terms of that presence and that ability. Not many players boast those things. When bear in mind, of course, he's had 5 years in the Premier League as well. He's tried and tested, and 42 caps for Belgium as well. But one of the key questions is that Manchester United could have had him for an awful lot less on July the 1st, and they end up paying for him on September the 2nd. And I asked David Moyes about that. Why on earth did Manchester United take it right down to the wire?
We had chosen to do it the way we did because we wanted to try and get Leighton Baines. And we didn't want to give up on Leighton Baines right to the last minute. And we felt the best way to do that was to try and keep the two deals together. And only at the last minute did we split the deal, so that was the way we chose to do it.
And what's the latest on Wayne Rooney's chances of returning to action in the Champions League?
Well, Manchester United have a big 8 days ahead, you're right. Crystal Palace here tomorrow in the Premier League, then Bayer Leverkusen on Tuesday night, and of course next weekend the Manchester derby at the Etihad Stadium. He needs all his players for that. He'll probably have a squad opinion on that in terms of how he's going to have maybe the 3 teams for the 3 games. And I think Wayne Rooney physically is in pretty good shape. You'll hear from David Moyes in a moment, but there's a concern about this scar and just how much risk they want to take. I think it's highly unlikely he'll play any part or be involved in the squad for the Crystal Palace game tomorrow. I think maybe there's an inkling that he could be involved perhaps on Tuesday night, and certainly I think we'll see him on the training ground maybe on Tuesday morning. I think it's perhaps more likely, given the timescale of things, that we might see him next weekend in the Manchester derby. But draw your own conclusions from what David Moyes said.
Well, he's in great physical shape. But obviously, you know, he's got a cut right in the middle of his forehead, which, you know, could split. The skin's very, very thin. So, you know, it's knitted. He's had his stitches out. It's knitted well. You know, we've just got to see where the level of risk is with his head injury.
So I'm fairly confident that Wayne Rooney won't make an appearance for Manchester United tomorrow. I think another major question is whether Fellaini will make his debut for the champions against Crystal Palace in a game that Manchester United would expect to win and might present David Moyes with his first ever win at Old Trafford. One thing's for sure, you'll see a few number 31 shirts around, and I think you might see the odd Fellaini wig start cropping up tomorrow here at Old Trafford.
Who knows? Thanks for now, James.
Well, Manchester City face